Well, thank you for clicking play on this video. It means that you're likely thinking about donating, which is fucking awesome. And I would first, before I get into why bother, I want to let you know what the money would go to so you have an idea of what exactly I'm asking for. For the first time in my life, I'm going to be releasing a solo album. My musical career started when I was 4, when I desperately demanded to be part of the local children's choir, even though I was far too young. Fast forward 30 years, and I am now embarking on releasing my first solo album. Folks might be familiar with Rooftop Revolutionaries, my previous band, and the band broke up. The music is still out there if you'd like to listen to it. But this solo album is a way of unpacking some of that and also embarking on this new part of my my artistic career. I don't like the word career. My artistic life? I don't know. I need a different word. Career sounds so corporate. Anyway, and it is clearly not that. Back in late 2019, I recorded these 3 songs and 2 spoken word pieces and was thinking that I would release the album in 2020 and get some money in to recoup the costs of producing it by touring in 2020. But obviously, that didn't happen. And some other revenue streams were cinched or just kind of cut off completely. So the financial burden of putting this out is heavier than I expected it to be. So that's why I'm asking y'all for help to do a few things. One is just getting it out there, promoting it out to folks so that they can have access to it. It will be available on a sliding scale, just like my film was, or still is, over at hardroadofhope.com, by the way. It will be available on a sliding scale, and folks can reach out if there's financial hardship. So I want to make it accessible to everyone. So being able to promote it out there and have people who can pay more will allow me to offer it for less to those who can't. The other thing is I'm doing a limited run of vinyl, and I'm having that created at this incredibly green. It's run on renewable energy, and they use the most green vinyl processing available. It's called Deep Grooves in the Netherlands, and so I'm doing a limited run of vinyl. I'm also doing a couple of music videos, and one music video and then a spoken word video for a couple of the tracks, and this is just basically, again, accessibility to promote it out there in a couple of different mediums, incorporating the visual aspect with the musical and the spoken word. So that's what I need y'all's help with funding, and now I'm just gonna really quick run down why the fuck you should care, why in times like these it's important to promote and support art. And even if you don't donate to mine, I would ask that you consider donating and supporting art where you find it, that you resonate with, because I think it's incredibly important. And I'll quote Bertol Brecht, who said, "Art is not a mirror held up to reality, but a hammer with which to shape it." And I think that particularly in times like these, it's super important to think about what that means in the course of recognizing the shitstorm of capitalism, the shitstorm of imperialism and colonialism that we exist in, and how not just to fight it, but how to build something better. And art is that creative drive to build something. And it is the imagination that will create the blueprints for those new worlds. Art is both a fight and a salve. It's the soul and the pulse of our movements. It's how we describe what it is to be human. And I will quote another person here, a radical human being, James Baldwin, who wrote that, excuse me, he wrote that the poets, by which I mean all artists, are finally the only people who know the truth about us. Soldiers don't, statesmen don't, priests don't, union leaders don't. Only poets. Only an artist can tell what it is like for anyone who gets to this planet to survive it, what it is like to die or to have somebody die, what it's like to be glad. So, art is a voice beyond the confines of capitalist conformity. It is a voice that breaks through the barriers set against the people to make us voiceless. And I'd say art is vital in all times, but perhaps no times more than hard times. So particularly now in the time of COVID, when we feel especially raw from the designed failings of our system, art is a cornerstone of how we build community, how we share stories, how we unpack what's going on, how we build new stories, how we manifest new mutual aid, create anti-capitalist pathways towards justice and equity. And finally, art's an invitation to think radically, to act radically, and to build and fight. And that's definitely my goal with the EP. Definitely an invitation and a place for solace and radical militant joy, to quote my dear friend Carla Bergman. So that's the what and the wherefore as to what's going on with this GoFundMe. So please, if you have anything lying around and are able to support, I'd greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much, and act out.